It is said that long ago, a miser and a generous man traveled together. They journeyed across the desert as far as God willed until they reached the edge of a forest on the outskirts of a great city. While they were there, they saw a large tree with a long, shady tree. The generous man said to the miser, "Let us rest here today before we enter the city." The miser agreed, and the generous man and the miser sat under the tree, enjoying its shade. Then the generous man took out his provisions and said to the miser, "Let us eat my provisions first, and then when night falls, we will eat yours." When the sun's red glow faded and night fell, the miser said to himself, "It seems the journey is long, and I fear I will go hungry when the food runs out." He decided to eat the provisions alone. The generous man became angry when he learned of this and decided to leave him. He left him and walked under the cover of darkness until he reached an abandoned mill. He said to himself, "I will spend the night here, and when morning comes, God will bring about what he has decreed." Then he climbed to a high room in the mill, and before he fell asleep, a group of predators began entering the mill, one after the other. The lion entered, then the tiger, the leopard, the hyena, the fox, and the wolf. After the assembly was complete, the lion stood up, saying, "Peace be upon you, creatures of the jungle, and welcome to our monthly meeting." He continued, "I have reviewed your reports, and I am impressed by your excellent management of affairs. I thank you for your efforts and hope you will always maintain your duties. Now, if any of you has anything to share with us, please do so." The tiger said, "O king of the age, there is a mouse in the region whose affairs you have so graciously entrusted to me. It possesses 100 gold coins, which it takes out at sunrise, 1 coin at a time, and leaves in the sun for an hour before returning them to their place. I do not know why it does this." The leopard said, "O wise king, in the region whose administration you have entrusted to me, there is a king among men whose opinion is respected and obeyed by young and old alike. He is just in his rule and wise in his judgment. However, he has a son. Medicine has failed to cure her, and the king has promised to marry her to whoever finds a cure for her and is able to heal her. The princess's cure is in the egg of a hen of such and such description, owned by a wise farmer in such and such a region." Then the hyena said, "O you who have touched the hearts of your subjects with justice and equality, there is a tree in the region entrusted to my administration, whose branches reach the sky and whose roots extend deep into the earth. Yet it bears no fruit because of a huge treasure buried beneath it, so much so that even your esteemed council cannot contain it." The fox said, "O exalted one, humans have separated us from the chickens with a fence, and my people and I are nearly consumed by hunger day after day. Even the fox cubs have begun eating fruits and vegetables out of hunger." The wolf said, "O king who has bestowed upon your subjects such great patience, hunting has become rampant in the region entrusted to my administration, and the people there complain to you of the injustice of humankind. He was late. We knew you as a protector of the land, a vanquisher of enemies." The lion listened to this long conversation between the king of the jungle and the other animals, holding his breath, lest those ferocious beasts devour him. When night fell and morning dawned, the gathering dispersed. The lion left, followed by the other animals, each going his own way. Then the generous man rose and went to where the mouse was. He found it just as the leopard had described, taking out gold coins, one by one, until it had collected 100. Then it would leave them in the sun and wait an hour. The generous man took a stone and threw it at the mouse, making it run away. He then took the coins and went to where the farmer was. When he arrived, he saw the hen and recognized it from the description he had heard the leopard give him while talking to the lion. He offered to buy it from the farmer for 10 gold coins. The farmer could not believe that the hen was worth that much and quickly accepted, selling it to the generous man. The generous man took the hen and went far away until he reached the shade of a tree far from the road. He waited until the hen laid an egg, then took the egg and hid it in his pocket. He then went to the king's palace. When he stood before him, he said, "I have come to you, O king, with a matter that concerns you." The king said, "Speak, O man." The generous man said, "I have heard that the princess is ill, and the doctors have been unable to cure her. What will you do if I, a humble servant, can heal her?" The king said, "If you heal her, she will be your wife. But if you are one of those who claim to be doctors, we will cut off your head." The generous man agreed to this, but he stipulated that he would treat her in a room where no one could see him except the one from whom nothing is hidden on earth or in heaven. The king agreed to the generous man's condition and ordered 2 guards to take him to the princess's room. When the generous man entered the princess's room, he found her asleep on the bed, weakened by illness. He prayed to his lord that what the leopard had said was true, and that she would be healed by that, the egg by God's will. Then he took out the egg and emptied it into a container. He took a piece of cloth, dipped it in the egg liquid, and began to rub it on the princess. She started to move slightly, and the generous man could hardly believe it. After a short while, he rubbed the princess again, and she opened her eyes. He waited an hour and repeated the process, and she spoke. He waited another hour and rubbed her a 4th time, and she rose by the command of the one who created both the illness and the cure, as if she had never been ill before. The king was overjoyed at his daughter's recovery and thanked the generous man. He then summoned the judge and arranged the marriage of his daughter to the generous man, as he had promised. He then ordered celebrations to be held in honor of his daughter's marriage to the man who had been the cause of her recovery. The following morning, the generous man said to the king, "Uncle, in your land there is a tree with such and such characteristics, and beneath it lies a treasure so vast that even your esteemed council cannot contain it. Send with me some soldiers and workers who can extract it." So the king sent with him a commander. The army, soldiers, and many workers dug around the tree, widening the hole until finally unearthed the treasure. The generous man took a portion and distributed it among the workers, then took another part and distributed it among the poor and needy. One day, while the generous man was walking through the city streets, he saw his miserly friend. He welcomed him warmly and offered him generous gifts, but the miser refused to take anything before the generous man told him his story and how he had come to be so wealthy. The generous man told him about the mill and what he had overheard the lion talking to the other animals. A miser rushed to the mill. A full month had passed since the previous meeting of the animals, and the time for the new meeting had arrived. The predators began entering the mill. The lion entered first, then the tiger, a leopard, a hyena, a fox, and a wolf. After the assembly was complete, the lion asked them to speak after welcoming them and thanking them for their efforts. He said, "O king of the jungle, how can we speak to you? Last time we told you things no one outside this meeting knows about. The mouse stole his coins, the farmer sold his chicken, and the treasure under the tree was unearthed. I suspect someone is listening to us, spying on us, and knows our secrets without our knowledge." So the lion ordered a search of the place. The animals spread out inside the mill to look for the spy. While they were searching, they found the elephant inside the mill and almost killed him, but he miraculously escaped after they severely wounded him. And so ended the story of stinginess and greed, while the generous man continued to enjoy life with his wife in the king's palace after having been poor and lacking even his daily sustenance. Here ends the story. May God keep you safe, and don't forget, peace and blessings be upon the messenger.